Hi, I'm Jennifer. This is Unearthed Relics. It has been a little while since I have posted, and there's been a lot going on. They say that things come in threes, and that's probably the case, and then some over the course of the last several months. Back in June, we learned that my mother had leukemia, and she ultimately passed away at the end of September after a brief but fierce fight and a mercifully quick end in the final days. And I wanted to spend as much time with her as possible over the course of the time that we had after her diagnosis. And while I had thought originally I could find the time to keep posting, realized pretty quickly on that it really wasn't the priority at that point in time. That being said, that was my first bad thing. The other thing that I had done was slipped and fell and jammed up my finger really badly. I can't get rings on it, so there's nothing going on relationship status wise. I've just got my rings on the other finger because I can't get them on my left hand right now. And that's been a little bit of a pain, literally. And then the other thing that kind of happened and deterred me for a little while was the fact that a snake showed up in my basement, which doubles as my craft room on my birthday. And I'm not a fan of snakes. I have no idea why or when. I guess I'm lucky that I happened to walk down and see it, although it didn't feel lucky at the time because at least I was able to get my husband in and fish it out and take it outside without me having to do the snake wrangling myself. But for a long time, I did not want to go back down the basement for fear of additional friends hanging out. There haven't been any, and I have been spending more time back down in my craft room at long last. But there was a little bit of a to-do there. So those are my three things. There are probably way more. But I am excited about trying to get back into the swing of things, and I'm excited for you to be along on this journey. So thank you for joining me today. I've got a lot of fun things in store. I'm going to show off some of my favorite vintage related Halloween things, and then some of the spooky Halloweeny decorating that I've been doing in my craft room, as well as a quick Halloween craft. Today, I'm going to be showing off some of my favorite vintage Halloween finds in various thrifting trips and adventures through the years. These are among my most favorite things to get out and use to decorate each Halloween. And let's face it, Halloween pretty much starts at the 4th of July now, right? Some of my most favorite Halloween related decorations, and I get really excited when I come across them in the wild, are the vintage cutouts. Not all the ones you find now are actually vintage. There's a lot of reproductions, but I'm extra excited when I can find one that was actually a little bit older. So telltale signs, kind of the old crusty tape on the back, maybe a little bit of fading or discoloration. That being said, I always feel like the colors that are used in some of the old ones are just so vivid and bright. Like, look at this owl. Isn't he amazing? So the ones that are actually a little bit older are always a real treat to find. This one I don't think is as old, but still has kind of a fun vintage look to it. Same with the skeleton there. Those are kind of reproductions that are a little bit more recent. That being said, the ones that are really old, kind of darker cardboard, some of them have kind of the raised, I don't know what that's called, but kind of a, not all entirely smooth, but a little bit of raised surface on them. That gives them some texture and kind of a cool funky look. I love that one. Same here with this cat. I think he's pretty amazing. These I found in a Goodwill bin, so the fact that they're more or less intact, no pieces are torn off. There are some bendy parts, but on the whole, I think those were good treasures to find. These little guys. I love these because they're two-sided. Same with this one. And I know a lot of people collect the older vintage ones, so I feel like when they come up for sale at an estate sale, or certainly if they've made their way to an antique booth or something of that nature, you're going to pay a pretty good amount for them because they are kind of collector's items. I also like the ones that kind of fold out in that kind of honeycomb shape. I have a lot of these for various seasons, but I really love that one. this little scarecrow guy here next to a haystack with a pumpkin. So those are great too because it can pop right on a table and make good decoration for a table. These tins are another one of my Halloween treasures, and I assume these were probably like popcorn or other kinds of snack tins at one point in time, but they're a lot of fun just to kind of set out in a Halloween display or use to kind of stack up to put other items on. So I've had a lot of fun decorating with these through the years. I love the fact that that one's got a pumpkin top too. The other thing I'm going to show off are these old lights. I love these. I obviously don't plug them in. They're the old style plugs, so that's one sign that they are a little bit older. And they've also kind of got a fun look. I'm guessing maybe from the 40s or 50s, so I don't think that they're much older than that, but they're really, really cool. I haven't had the heart to kind of pull the light strand out of them yet. I just usually drape those on a tree or hang them up as decoration. So now let's get to crafting. So today I'm going to be showing how I made this little cauldron craft. It's just a little cutout, Halloween cutout. I'll put the link to the shop where I got that on Etsy in my show description, so you can find that if you wanted to do something similar. I found a whole bunch of those along with other little nicks and knacks, skeleton heads, rings, other little odds and ends that I've collected over time, just little spooky things that I can use. So with the exception of the printout, it's more or less a like 100% recycled craft, which is kind of fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off the little edges of the original hook that was on there. Just really close down to the little circular part. Oh, I'm going to glue down my base first, and then glue the other little piece onto it once it's in there, and then I'll get the girl kind of glued down onto it. I guess I could use something like a E6000 glue as well. I think the hot glue should work for this. I'll also have gravity on my side. The other thing I want to do is kind of pay attention to where the side handles are on the cauldron, so that I can kind of get it centered the way I want. Just get around all those little kind of spots where it might otherwise look bright new, and I want it to look old, a little bit vintage. That's better. And glue that toward the back. Just turn around and push it down real hard. By gluing it toward the back, it's going to give me the ability to put a little bit more stuff in front of her. I'm going to go ahead and get my stuffing stuff down in, and I'm going to use just a little pokey stick. I think it's okay if it's kind of not perfect because it kind of looks more cauldron-y, if that's the case. I'm going to go ahead and put some down around the edges over here. probably should have done the stuffing of the cauldron stuff maybe later. I don't think it really matters that much. And then just kind of reshape that one. She's pretty cute. I'll fluff those back out here. Ooh, or a bat. She actually looks really good with the bat. Because since I didn't use the black pipe cleaner, this will stand out a little bit more. So all I'm doing is cutting the little plastic part off the ring, and I'm going to do the bat right here. I like that. Okay, I think that's pretty cute. All right, let's get my little witch with a kitty cat and another little witch with a fancy rat. Thanks for joining me today. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing. And I just want to finish with a photo of my mom and kind of tribute to her.